The Naked Monkey Podcast.
My mom used to say that I'd bring home stray people as a teenager. Because, like, I did. I met my friend Troy. Just walking around, I would steal, like, cigarette butts out of ashtrays and, like, cut the butts off, you know? Because I was too young to buy cigarettes. And I would, like, bum cigarettes off of people. So I was walking around. Well, we lived in Price Hill at the time. And, like, and this dude was walking around, and I asked him for a cigarette, and he's like, I have a whole pack of cigarettes you can have because I don't like them. And I was like, this guy's awesome already. So, like, he took me back. Oh, God, this story just gets better and better. I forget. But he gives me a whole pack. I think it was, like, Salem's. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I was like, well, we should hang out, man. So, like, when we had first moved into this condo, we were moving in right after we had a house fire. So, like, we lost a lot of shit. So, like, when we moved in, the landlady was really nice, and she gave us, like, a bed frame and an entertainment center and, like, a little, like, chest of drawers or whatever and a TV. So, like, after I meet this dude, like, a few months after we move in, me and my brother in our room, I bring this dude in, and I was like, what's up? This is Troy, blah, blah, blah. And he sits down, and he starts looking around. He's like, wow, man, no, that bookcase looks pretty familiar. Like, what? And that TV stand. And he, like, looks over. He's like, and that TV, dude. So his mom was the landlady, and she kicked him out and gave us all of his shit.
Oh my God.
What? And he must have been so fucking, like, imagine sitting down and just looking around like, wait a minute. That's so trippy. Everything in this room is mine.
Oh my God.
So fucked up to just be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And I used to hang out with him all the time. Like, we used to record music together, dude. I'll have to play you guys this song that he wrote. It's fucking hilarious.
You sent something in the Discord. Was that was you singing, wasn't it?
What?
That Hazel Adkins thing?
Well, no, man. It was Hazel Adkins.
That sounded a lot like you. I was like, this sounds like something Taylor would do.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. No, I just remember we had brought him up, so I was like, here's a funny, like, did you guys listen to that shit? It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was you.
Yeah, no, that's like a great example. It was I can't remember which one we got a date. That was the name of the song I sent you guys, right? Yeah. So
yeah, we got it.
Yeah, that's a great example of what I was trying to talk about. If you listen to the other episode of just what the fuck is going on with Hazel Adkins, I was trying to describe. It was funny because I was describing him to my girlfriend earlier. So, like, as I was, like, building up to it, you know, and she's like, "Oh," and I was like, "No, don't. Hold on. You haven't heard the music yet."
Right.
Yeah, it's not all. It's
Okay, so when you say that, you reminded me of something.
Spit in my mouth.
So there was a time when I found out that Adolf Hitler was a really big fan of U.S. entertainment.
Yeah, I think he actually did like Charlie Chaplin, right?
Yeah, I think so. But he was, like, such a big fan, and he thought to himself that when he went to invade that, the U.S. will join me because, I like them, they should like me, sort of thing. Like, of course they'll like me. And when he found out that the U.S. was, in fact, going to be his enemy, he was, like, legitimately upset and disappointed. And when I told a few women that, every single woman went, "Aw." And I was like, you realize you called Hitler, right? Like, yeah, but they're like, yeah, but it's kind of sad. It's like, no, it's not. Aw.
Oh, I thought you guys would like my genocide. I hate you. He's like, yeah, that's so funny though. Like, I get, like, like, if you knew nothing about Hitler, and that was the first thing you heard, you'd be like, oh. But then, like, having heard the rest, like, it's really hard to look at pictures from the camps and be like, oh.
It's hard to see him with any innocence at all.
Yeah, no, that guy was like, I don't know. I read online that he was kind of a jerk.
Yeah, just to a couple people.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a meanie.
Yeah, just a bit of a dick
with a real weird dick, from what I hear.
I thought he only had one ball.
I think so. but I also think he had a real weird dick.
Why do you have is this like a thing, or are you just saying stuff?
No, I
Right.
think he did. He had like a congenital disease or something that made him have like one ball.
Congenital disease?
Oh, I think
Damn.
so. I think you're right. But yeah, he just had a real weird dick.
So are we talking like scarred, disfigured,
I think
or
it
are
was
we talking like
small and
curved?
scarred.
Small and scarred?
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, that is unfortunate.
That is
I mean, I'm not
that'll
gonna-
make you angry. I don't know about take over the world angry, but I mean it'll make you weird.
Yeah.
Could have gone
Somebody
two
just-
ways. Could have gone two different ways. He could have
Maybe somebody just needed to give him some, you know, get him his dick wet, you know. That might have just
the
saved
solution.
thousands upon millions of lives.
Come on, take one for the team. I somehow suspect it would not have helped.
Right, because
Well,
I mean, you know, how many crazy people did get laid and still became crazy people?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he had kids. I mean,
Did he?
I thought so.
What is it,
Really?
Hitler?
I feel like I've never heard of that.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna Google it.
I am.
Maybe you'll do it faster than me because I can't type apparently.
Might
Most
have had
historians. Yeah, okay. We don't know.
God, you would
Apparently.
hope not.
I mean, I'm not sure there's like a genetic world domination gene.
No, not for us.
They had a
For them.
genetic dick
imagine,
disease.
imagine being the kid of Adolf Hitler. Like, if you were the nicest person, if that kid was Jesus, like,
It'd be
Even
poetic,
then-
honestly.
but it would be you would still never trust him.
I mean, I feel like that's a great fantasy story. Sauron's child grows up to save the world. I need that to be true.
You know,
Right.
Mussolini,
Sounds
one of
awesome.
Mussolini's grandkids is on Twitter.
That is unimpressive.
But, I mean,
Right.
at
That's
that
just
point,
the
that's
thing
kind of where
he
we're
did.
at, right? But like, that's kind of where we're at. You know,
Yeah.
they're no big
Like-
special. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm related to a crazy fucking relationship.
They're just riding the
Shit.
coattails.
Yeah, dude. Should we floop through the should we like respond to feedback now before we
I think
forget?
so.
Because like, I mean, the whole last episode, I might pull some clips from it if we can, but like that was fucking hilarious. Like Chris's basement is flooding. The power and internet just keep routinely shutting on and off. Like it was just biblical flood level of intervention for us trying to record a fucking episode.
Yeah,
we still
no, it
did.
was, yeah, we did our best.
Yeah, we recorded several pieces, like, because I had to like try to staple them together. We were jumping all around. It was a shit show, but we did put a
Absolutely.
noble effort. So there might be some clips we pull because we did have a good conversation in there. But fuck, man, did it screw
Yeah.
with my flow?
Dude,
Yeah,
it's still screwing with this basement. Like literally the carpet. My computer's down in the basement. You know, this is where I record and do everything. And literally the carpet is still damp. I'm about to have to tear this shit out. Put something new in. We gotta take all the baseboard up. Like we're
Damn,
talking
dude.
just
That's
shit
like,
show.
yeah.
The
So
linoleum is all so it's like linoleum on half, carpet on the other, and the linoleum's all but ripped up
fuck, dude.
just
Yeah,
from coming up and having water sit under it.
that is absurd, man. I just can't.
It's insane.
Like, yeah. So, no
You know-
fun there. But hey, at least we got to had a conversation. While
Right.
you were
Even through all that, we still said fuck you to the elements and recorded
exactly
for our very, very great 3 listeners.
our small but loyal handful. We appreciate you.
Right.
Which is why,
We love
yeah, absolutely. Here, so we had a fun one right off the bat. If I can find it here, because we had some funny ones, dude. I had somebody outside just before we get into the comments that I can remember. My buddy James, do you remember him from Amazon?
Yeah.
So he reached out to me and he was telling me that he was like he's like, dude, I listened to that. He's like, and he said he was raised, like, and his mom had raised him as like a single mom to dab his penis after he peed. And it wasn't until he got older that he learned that that's not something that people do. So like he was like, holy shit, it was just funny that we talked about it, because I was like, and he's like, now, yeah, I was taught to do that by my mom.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's incredible.
Right? What are the chances?
Right? So very specific.
Wow.
Can we call that feedback instead of feedback?
I mean, I'd be remorse if we didn't.
Yeah. So that was a good one. But oh shit, yeah. So the comment from my sister where she was talking about Peeps and Kool-Aid.
Yeah, what is that?
So I don't remember what made her think of this from last episode, but me being me, I've always just been a fucking freak. Like, I can't even blame trauma, because before weird shit happened in my life, like when I was 5, I think I told you guys that. I walked up, my brother had his buddy over, and I walked up to him and just said, my dad sticks knives in my butt. And apparently he was tripping on acid. I didn't know this. I'm 5, and it freaked him the fuck out. And obviously my dad's not sticking knives up my butt. I don't know what in my 5-year-old brain. I just even then love to get reactions out of people. But fast forward, I think I'm like 4th or 5th grade, and my mom, she bought like all these Peeps, like the marshmallow treats.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she bought like a whole bunch. My mom always buys like unnecessary amounts of shit, just because it's on sale. So she bought like a fucking Sam's Club like pallet of Peeps, and we ate like 7 before they all went stale. So we had just like so many stale Peeps. So I don't know who started it, but we just started a Peep war essentially, and this went on for a long ass time of us just throwing these stale Peeps at each other, and that shit hurt. So, but since I'm me and I can never just fucking be normal in the middle of the Peep war, just to take this shit to an 11, I just take a full red Solo cup of Kool-Aid and just throw it into the ceiling fan. And dude, it went everywhere, all over the ceiling, all over the walls, all over our Magic the Gathering cards, like everywhere. And everybody was just stopped like, what the fuck, man? And I was like, I don't know. So that was my contribution to the Peep war.
Just making a whole mess of everything.
It was fucking awful.
Did you win?
I mean, yeah.
I feel like I won. I feel like I would.
I mean, you put an end to it right there and then, right?
Yeah.
That is true.
So
That's
therefore
true.
You won.
Yeah. So, fuck them.
The people is Caleb's.
The people. Yeah, dude. And what's like, I was so upset immediately when I realized everybody didn't think it was a great idea.
Right. You're just wondering why everyone is shocked.
Yeah. Why? I thought it was that kind of party.
Right.
We throwing Kool-Aid in the ceiling fan.
Do you normally eat Peeps anymore after that, or is it just like a Vietnam flashback every time somebody's like, hey, Easter's coming up, and you just hear like, you're like, oh, fuck, no.
First off, who the
true?
Oh, go ahead,
right.
Chris.
I know you were about to say who eats Peeps.
Yeah,
at
who
all.
the fuck eats Peeps, man? That's not even a
That's
good treat.
Only a question.
Yeah, they're terrible. I just want to make sure, but like,
that's why they all went stale.
You get shivers during Easter anymore? Just like, oh god.
I
feel fine. I can't speak for my siblings.
I barely even realize Easter's a day anymore.
Yeah, Easter is a very child-oriented holiday. It's fun to hide the eggies for the childrens. It'd be funny to put hornets in them.
Like, I can't wait till I have a kid just for Easter, because that was my favorite holiday growing up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Weird. For real.
I know, but like,
you're a weird kid.
Things my parents ever did for me was they they would send me on these little scavenger hunts during Easter. You know, I'd open the egg and give me a clue to go somewhere else and find this egg that eventually had either some money or we were collecting Beanie Babies and shit back then. And
I used to collect those.
so so I'd find those and
damn, dude, I think you're the only person I've ever met who has ever had a favorite holiday as Easter.
Right, like that is surprising.
I've never heard anybody say that.
It
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's things that having a kid also makes it feel like you can enjoy things again with a kid that you can't enjoy without a kid, like Easter or like watching kids movies without being like, oh, he's weird.
Yeah.
Hanging out with other kids is fun.
I've had that happen a few times with people. Like I'll be like talking about like Encanto, and I'll be like, "Dude, you see Encanto? It's good." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Yeah, I took my daughters to go see it." And I was like, "Yeah, me and my girlfriend went by ourselves. I just liked it."
Right. Yeah, like it feels weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, I guess I could see how it's interpreted. So. I don't think it's weird, but then again.
Or more acceptable.
I've never been a great barometer for what is normal. If I could refer you back to the knives in my butt thing. So
true that. Yeah, our normal meter is way the fuck off.
Right. Yeah, not a great tool to measure that with.
But that said, I mean, Encanto is a great movie. Disney movies are fun, for what they are. Like, if you look too into them, sometimes they're depressing.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Like really depressing and fucked up, but
yeah, Encanto even like the ability to retain a level of like any level of lightheartedness while exploring an idea like generational trauma. I mean, that's kind of difficult to do.
Yeah,
and they did a good job with it.
With Encanto. It was damn near hard to finish. I was feeling so bad. I was just like, oh God. Like every few seconds I was like, God damn it, this movie is so fucking depressing.
so sad for Bruno.
Yeah.
Everybody making fun of the one kid who doesn't have a special power. The entire movie is just like, man, it really sucks to be you. I feel like I know you're doing the best you can, but like I feel bad for you. Not even dislike, it's just pity. It's like, oh God.
Well,
yeah.
What made that even worse for me was the fact that they looked down so much on her for being in that family and being normal.
Yeah.
How do they look at the town?
Right.
A bunch of peasants is all they'll ever be.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Like they are just kings of their town and they don't want anyone to ever leave or come into their town. They're like, this is it.
No, I see it differently.
Did you tell?
So my thought of it is that they don't look down on the townspeople. They have the power for the town to protect the town. So anybody in the family is sort of part of that protection. So you're supposed to keep an eye out on the people who can't. So you're supposed to contribute everything you can.
So it's only unacceptable because she's part of the family. If she weren't, it wouldn't even be expected.
Right. Nobody is expected to get a power outside of the town. So they don't hate the town. They still want to marry into the town. They still want to protect the town. It's only when somebody doesn't contribute that they're like, it really sucks. Like, I feel bad because you can't contribute.
They were really weirdo isolationist, though.
True.
Yeah. No, like the whole thing is like there's a literal barrier around their city that nothing goes in or out, right? And that was the whole thing when like the casa got fucking destroyed, that now their town is open to anything. That's what I took out of it.
Yeah. No, and I
running
think
from the Spanish soldiers there, and they're like, it looks like they literally go into a different dimension, basically.
Yeah. No, I think that was a clever way of like employing the idea that like nothing happens in a vacuum. Because like one thing, I guess I tend to be very like socially liberal. Like I just kind of like, if what you're doing isn't harming anybody, fuck it.
Right.
But I think there's an interesting thing to temper that against is the idea that nothing occurs in a vacuum. So like making irresponsible moral decisions or ethical choices, you can try to act like you're limiting them to yourselves, but you really don't, because like there is no such thing as an individual. Like that will impact your relationships and your family and your community, and eventually that impacts everything.
Right.
So like I think that was a clever way of showing that like the guardedness and the scarification of that family and power ended up actually affecting the entire town.
Yeah. They were all. It was almost mind control of like, hey, we have it good here. We were protected. We're fed. You know.
Right.
It's almost a cult.
Yeah. Yeah. Cults can be cool.
Yeah, I mean, at least they were a musical, colorful cult, you know.
Yeah, dude.
Hurricanes of Hakaranda.
You know what's really important for cults is branding. You got to have good branding.
You know who had really good branding?
Yeah.
Who?
Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
This episode has been brought to you by Kool-Aid.
Even though the people who killed themselves, that cult that drank like Special Aid or whatever it was called.
Oh, you talking about Jim Jones in it?
Yeah. You know, people even say nowadays, oh, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, or oh, don't drink the Kool-Aid. But they didn't drink Kool-Aid.
Right.
It was like Special Aid or something like that, or Hydrate Aid. But Kool-Aid, man, they're so ubiquitous. They're taking credit for, you know, cult killings.
Hey, the only bad press is no press, man.
Right? You
although it does make me think, well, what was it like? First off, Kool-Aid's not expensive, right?
No.
Like, so what were you worried about the cost? And if you were, why? You're all going to be dead. What are you fucking worried about?
But you know what else it says to me?
It's a weird time to be economic. Don't get Kool-Aid.
Yeah, right.
You fucking get the great value Kool-Aid. I'm just
right. But it says to me that Kool-Aid has such a strong taste, it'll overpower poison. It's like, no matter how bad this poison tastes, Kool-Aid will be stronger. Like, you will only taste Kool-Aid.
Look,
absolutely.
all you gotta do is add enough sugar, you know?
Absolutely.
That's really the only thing to Kool-Aid. It's not like you're adding more packets, you're just adding sugar.
Oh, yeah. Dude, one time me and my buddy Chad, we were like I was like 4th or 5th grade, and we had this thing where we'd be in the kitchen and we would like up the ante, be like, all right, I bet you won't take a shot of this vinegar, you know, and then he'd be like, oh, and then he'd do it and he'd be like, all right. Well, and during the course of that, we snorted Kool-Aid powder. And
oh, God.
Dude, yeah, it was brutal. So sour, so sour. It's so burny in the sinuses and
I was
shit.
gonna say, like, did you feel that burning like in the top of your skull? Like you get that itch?
Dude, it was like mixing with my spit and mucus, so I was getting like Kool-Aid drips. You know what I mean?
Oh no!
For like hours.
About to ask.
Hours of Kool-Aid drips, and I'd be like, man, it was kind of good. If you don't think about it, like you're like, hey, it tastes better than mucus.
Right, it's flavored mucus.
Anyway, we're not sponsored by Kool-Aid, but we will welcome a sponsorship from Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, help us out. We got you. Shit, dude, that just reminds me of Cocaine Bear. And
yeah, but did that taste anything like a sucker, like in the background of your mouth every now and then? You just be like, Chupa Chups or whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of good, but I haven't seen Cocaine Bear. I saw the trailer for it, but my fun fact about that is that did you know that Waylon Jennings actually owned the Cocaine Bear for a short period of time?
Really?
Yeah, which is very suiting. Yeah, like I told my buddy that, and he went to go Google about it, and during that, you know how they have like the little drop down menus of like related questions?
Yeah.
One of them was like, how much cocaine did Waylon Jennings do? And I just want to look up really fast to verify. I think it was something like $1,500 worth a day.
Holy shit.
And I want to make sure that, because we were like, what the fuck? And then I'm also thinking like, this is the 80s. Like, you were really getting a lot of bang for your buck. That's a lot of fucking cocaine.
Fuck,
right?
Yeah.
How do you live? Yeah, that's just insane to me.
Man, when I hear celebrity cocaine stories or drug stories, I'm always like,
fuck.
my heart skips a beat every time. Like Fleetwood Mac when
Well,
they
yeah,
were
that's a funny joke if you think about it.
what?
That your heart skips a beat? Yeah, I bet.
That's awesome.
I didn't even put damn. But yeah, when they were recording the album Rumors, they had a duffel
Dude.
bag full of cocaine, like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of cocaine that they
Sure,
would
that's
go
not a
through. Like,
rumor.
no,
I'm sorry.
I wonder.
No.
I
This is
wonder what those
absolute
duffel bags
fact.
sold for afterwards. Like, do you think you could get that on eBay or
Dude.
like?
Just like the empty. There's like, I mean, yeah. Even if it's been washed, that's valuable, right?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
the Fleetwood Mac Rumors cocaine duff.
Right, I would have that.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of
Yeah.
Okay, so I did find it, by the way. So during the 1980s, Waylon Jennings, his cocaine addiction intensified. He claimed to have spent $1,500 a day on his habit, equivalent to $4,500 in 2021. Oh my dude, that is fucking awesome. I don't know what else to call that. Like, it's not good, but it's awesome.
Yeah,
like in the literal definition,
awesome.
I'm in awe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is that a year? How much is that?
I mean, he drained his finances. He fucked a lot of shit up. But what good musician doesn't?
Yeah.
Boring ones.
That's true.
There's music and drugs. That's the way.
This is the way. It's the American way. That's far more than American.
The musician way.
Yeah, far.
That's drugs and rock and roll.
Dude, if you think creative types have always been weirdos, like cutting their ears off and shit, you know, something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're willing to go to that extreme just for that little spark.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that was like when I was a little kid, my dream was first my dream was to own a farm and be a writer, and that sounds pretty awesome. But then I wanted to play music.
That sounds sick as fuck, dude.
Yeah, I wanted that. I would do that. I just don't ever write. So that kind of makes the other part hard. And I live in an apartment, so, you know, but I would love to have
farming going on.
But yeah, dude, I always dreamed of playing music and stuff, and, you know, because I always liked getting reactions out of people and throwing Kool-Aid into ceiling fans. So, I mean, if I could do that productively.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. I was like the diet Gigi Allen. You know what I mean? I'm not going to throw my poop at you, but I will throw Kool-Aid into the ceiling fan. And I might throw my poop at you.
Right. You've already thrown Kool-Aid up there, so.
And we have all talked about piss. So, I mean, a quick trick from the Ben wouldn't be that out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
So I keep on thinking about this because we keep on circling back to fans and piss. And there's a story that my parents told me when I was a baby.
Back when you peaked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think honestly, once you hear this, we might all think so.
Oh shit.
So apparently, I'm pretty newborn, and my grandparents are over at the house, and we have the ceiling fan. My grandparents are sitting at the kitchen table. I'm on the couch, and I guess I was getting my diaper changed, but I pissed while I'm on the couch, and apparently the stream was so strong it arced over the ceiling fan and went into my grandma's purse.
Dude, that's actually how they chose leaders for your ancestors. Like, the stream is strong with this one. He will bring us fiscal success with his pee urine in the purse.
Yeah, you got it in the purse, which means financial success as opposed to on the float.
The economy will be booming. Dude, that's awesome.
The yield will be strong this year.
So wait. I have a question. Were their backs just turned that you could arc over the ceiling fan and into a purse when they were changing you? Did they just leave your dick out for a minute?
Dude, so I think it's one of those things like, you know, you're sitting there, you're changing a diaper, all of a sudden the kid starts peeing. Like, you're not gonna dive in front of it and protect, right?
Now you pinch that shit
back
off.
Up. Well, no, I'm saying as the person changing.
I mean, yeah, you don't.
Yeah, you back up.
I feel like you don't put a hand in front.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
Just get out
after
of the
seeing
way.
that, like, I'm just gonna let it happen
You would
because
think
that's
you'd
too
move the
good.
purse. You think you'd move the purse then? Like if I saw a kid pissing, I wouldn't be like, "Well, fuck Granny."
Well,
Who
I
thinks
don't
that
think it
quickly,
was
Drew?
planned.
Yeah,
Right.
like I wouldn't be like also, I sort of pictured the ceiling fan like not just being like a bystander, but like an integral part of how it got into the purse. Like his pee hit the ceiling fan, which like messed with the trajectory.
With a solid stream.
Yeah, like some elaborate like machine that you build with like dominoes
Yeah.
and ping pong balls and shit.
Yeah. Well, it's called
And then,
the
but yeah, who's gonna be
The
like
Rube
the
Goldberg
child's peeing?
machine.
Quick,
Rube
grab the
Goldberg
purse.
machine, yeah. Right. And like my grandma was, she was notoriously a bitch. Um, but sweetest lady, but also like could just cut daggers into you, dude.
I don't know if that's like a Midwest Southern grandma thing. My grandma's kind of the same way.
Yeah, no, I think it was, dude. She grew up on a farm. My dad grew up on a farm.
Yeah, my grandma too.
That's how it was. And like I remember my brother told me when he was, I want to say 18, 19, he went to my grandparents and she was teaching him how to play poker. But she made him like use his own money and she literally took every dime from him.
Holy shit.
Yeah. No, she was ruthless.
That's like, I mean, that's a harsh lesson. Dude, my grandma.
Yeah, that's straight up life isn't fair.
Yeah. No, my
Yeah,
grandma, she's
seriously.
really nice to me, but like, I think my grandma doesn't like women because she's always like really hard on the women in my family. But like, she'll call me and just be like, you just have the sweetest voice.
Oh, dude.
And then she'll just send like hateful fucking texts to my sister. And I'm just like, this is fucked up.
It's funny. My grandma was in this like, she obviously thought highly of women because she was in this like red hat club that was like they all like her and her girls got together and they all dressed up real nice and they all had these huge red luxurious hats.
I've heard of shit like that. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So she would do that, but also my mom. So my dad and my grandpa, their favorite cake was a pineapple upside down cake.
That's a good cake.
And it is a really good cake. And my mom, knowing this, just trying to be nice, would make this cake and bring it over and serve it to my grandpa for his birthday or, you know, just here and there, you know, just trying to be sweet. And she got so much hate from my grandma for that.
Fuck?
Like she would literally, so she would call her by my dad's ex-wife's name on purpose.
Oh, that's fucking brutal.
Dude,
What the fuck?
I'm telling you, my grandma is
Dude, okay. I mean,
like,
your grandma takes the pineapple upside down cake on being savage. I can't say my grandma's done that.
But,
dude.
like, it shows how fucking like just fuck it your mom was. Just like, you know, I'm sure she hated that, but like your mom is the sweetest lady. It's insane.
Damn.
I know, dude.
Fuck.
It's crazy. I honestly,
Your mom's a champion.
The way they put up with, it's that. Well, they were Catholic, and it was that Catholic kind of fucking just fuck you jabs that are so harsh, but you're just like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I'm just used to the name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know?
There's nothing as scathing as a red hat club. You know, I can only imagine. As soon as you walk out there, like this pineapple upside down cake is literal dog shit.
Yeah. It's just
I hope she gets hit by a car.
Right. I will refuse to tell you that I hate you to your face to the day I die, but I will make your life a miserable hell the whole time.
Yeah, it's the slow erosion. That sucks ass.
Like, I try to cook sometimes, and every time I do, if it's something I made before, I still get stressed out of like if I've got to do like two things, like if I got to set the oven and preheat the stove, I'm just like, oh fuck, like how do I do this?
Dude,
Shit,
I
dude.
walk through.
Yeah,
I
like if
walk
there's
through a doorway and I forget everything I was just thinking about. It's credit to
Yeah,
them.
the ability to juggle multiple streams of information. That's hard for me too, because like if I can go on like a single thing, I can usually like, it's like an all or nothing. I think it's like generally how I operate. But like if there's crosstalk happening, like if I'm talking to you and then Drew starts talking to another person, everything becomes nothing. I can't understand
Yeah.
anyone anymore.
Me exactly.
Honestly, that's why I
To
respect
the
line
mass
cooks
trying to
so
tell
much.
you.
Hmm?
Like line cooks are the craziest thing. I feel like that's the craziest, most shitty job.
That's the song of my people.
Just stuck in a place like 2 by 2 feet and just face right in front of the hottest stove with like 14 other people shoulder to shoulder, just fucking yelling at each other. It's just like, oh god, fuck that.
Dude, what's weird? There's something wrong with me because like I've spent most of my life doing like 14 years of restaurant work. And then like Amazon was my first job I ever had that wasn't restaurant work when I met you guys.
Wow.
And
Uh,
so now I'm like, I moved on to another thing again. And like, there's this weird part in the back of my brain that like misses it because it is so,
Ingrained.
I don't know what it is, dude. It could be familiarity or it could be like the relationships you forge with people when you're in a tiny kitchen, just fucking at that pace, like of just things coming at you. And like, I don't know, it's sort of enjoyable in a weird, chaotic, masochistic kind of way.
Yeah. No,
I
I
Yeah.
mean,
get
in a
that.
way, it sounds like fucking awesome just to be like knee deep in chaos, just like fucking, balls to the wall type shit. But
Yeah. I
fucking like,
just,
Yeah.
what?
No. See, I understand that too because like we've been in warehouses and the such the for about the same time that you were in restaurants and when one of my favorite jobs I hate because we didn't get paid right, it
mm-hmm.
was there was just some unfortunate circumstances there, but the the camaraderie that we built with everyone that we worked with because it was
Right.
so high paced, so everything's changing and moving all the time and you're all always getting new directions, but you're all having to work together to make sure it all gets done and that everyone actually can try and get home at a reasonable time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a very concise way of putting that of what it is basically the same idea. It's just
Right.
the same shit, dude. I mean, we treat line cooks like the unwanted fucking stepchildren of the service industry. So like I had to get out of it just because like usually they pay shit and you don't have benefits.
Right. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of it.
If they paid me better and gave me benefits, I probably wouldn't have left it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No, that's
yeah, but I mean,
same.
that's the, yeah, I don't, I made that joke before because it sounds so stupid because people will be like, they always call them like transitionary jobs. Like the excuse we use to pay you badly and not provide you with benefits, even though we could easily afford to do both of those things, is because these are intended,
Mhm.
these are transition jobs. These are intended for teenagers. And I'm like, then why the fuck are we all 30? Like,
Right. And
how many
Right.
16-year-olds do you know that work at like Buckheads or
also
Yeah.
or no?
that's saying two different things. One, we're okay with hiring any teenager, you know, and not paying them fairly. And two, that any teenager shouldn't have to rely on this. Like what if a teenager, is kicked out of their home? They shouldn't be able to rely on that for
Well,
like
yeah, you
30
don't.
cents more.
And even with the most generous interpretation of that, like for one, maybe if you have like a small little like ice cream shop or like even like a fast food restaurant in a small place, you could get away with maybe having a handful of teenagers. But can we call that like, could that be like capitalistic grooming? It's like you're flirting with the legal age so you can rip people off.
That is true.
Because if you were an
Yeah.
adult, I would have to treat you with a certain amount of respect. But since you're not, I don't have to do that.
Yeah,
what, like
Right.
when you turn 18, do I just fucking fire you? Bring in the
there
next
was
one.
some there was some warehouse in like Oklahoma or Alabama or somewhere that they just showed pictures. I can't remember what company it was, but there were like 8-year-olds or fucking 12-year-olds walking this fucking floor.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Dude, I
you know
learned
what?
something. Where was this at?
I don't. It was like Alabama or Oklahoma.
So I learned something the other
Widely
day
apart.
because I used to work next door to this restaurant, and I'd always see these kids working. Like they'd be like taking trash out and doing dishes and sweeping and crap like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it turned out they were the children of the restaurant owners. And that is actually a loophole. If you can put your own children to work in your business and it's not illegal. I can't say
What?
that is like a countrywide thing, but yeah, like here in Kentucky, you could definitely do that. And I think that's like that in a
I
lot
mean,
of
it makes
places.
sense. No, that makes sense because like that's. I mean, back then that's why you had kids. You know, they
Oh, for
were meant
sure.
to help.
It is one of the few perks. I think
Yeah.
it's the only perk. What is the other perk?
Yeah, as other than that, it's like it's also another mouth to feed too.
Yeah, this is a
It's like,
net loss. This is a net loss.
Until they get to a certain age.
yeah,
Even
and then
then,
they're out on their own, or they're causing you more problems and more money. So like,
what do I just hope that after you've like just ravaged our finances and destroyed our dreams, that like you out of your just goodwill, you don't put us in a fucking nursing home?
Right, like fucking A.
Because you don't
yeah,
have to. You don't have to return that favor. This is absolutely just
no.
please. I've only
Well, I
ruined
mean,
my entire life for you.
but
Well, yeah,
that's
that's
where
why
it
you have
falls on the
17 of
parent.
them for working the farm, because some of them would be like, all right, bye. And that's why you keep having them for like free workforce. And the ones that
Yeah,
do come
dude.
back,
I get it. I get both sides because I was a very bratty child, you know, like I was born with the mentality of someone who doesn't have to do anything, but I didn't have the finances to back it up because we were pretty poor. But like I was just like, fuck that. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I get that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
yeah,
What? So you gave birth to me? Like you don't fucking own me.
yeah, I don't even
You
like
Mhm.
you.
know? Like, well, that might be true for you. I like my mom, and but like the point of like if people go too far with it in the other direction, like, yeah, I gave birth to you, so you should just deal with toxicity and horrible shit and inherit the family burden. I'm good.
I mean, Quentin Tarantino, the director, straight up
For
has
the
told,
layman.
yeah, for so long and still to this day has said he's never given his mom any money or bought her anything with his directing money.
Is she a shit person or something?
No, he just told her like they're friends or they're friendly. You know, they still talk to each other every now and then. But she just was never super supportive. He's like, all right, so but when I get big, I'm not gonna buy anything for you. I'm not gonna get you a house. She's like, all right, I don't support it. And still to this day, he's never given her a single fucking dime.
So I mean, that's
Damn.
the thing. Then is like, it's on the parent. Then like if you scar your kid like that, then yeah, you're probably not going to get much, or they're not going to want to help you out when you get older.
True,
But if on the other hand, if you're good to them, like my parents, I wasn't a great kid to them, but also, then they messed up too, but they did a lot right. And if I could, I'd love to put them up, and
right, that's
in the
what's
nice
tough.
house, get my dad the GTO he always wanted, the 57 Chevy for my mom that she always wanted,
Supply them with
like,
$4,500 worth of cocaine per day.
fucking A, man.
Found out that's about
They put up with my ass, like,
Right.
good on you.
162 or 1.62 million dollars a year.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. But but I think like because a lot of people, so much is subjective. That's what makes it tough. Like we weren't there because like some people would be like, my parents were never supportive of me, and like I would be like, how do you mean? You know what I mean? Because like some people, their parents are literally not supportive of them, and then other times parents are just being realistic and being like, "Listen, the shot in the dark that you're going to become one of the world's greatest directors, not high. Could we get a plan B?
That is true.
Like,
But
what do you want to be when you grow up? A rock star? Okay, well, maybe we should look at some trades. Like, because
Exactly.
there's a huge chance that's not going to happen. And I'm not saying that she wasn't. I wasn't there, like I said, but like I do know some people with that attitude. Like, you never supported my dreams, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Your dreams were dumb.
there's only been 40 presidents. You know, there hasn't even been 50 presidents yet of the U.S. Like, if you say you want to be one, like you have a very slim chance.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, just know, be self-aware. You can't remain being like a 6-year-old mindset about what you want to do. Anyway, this show has not been sponsored by Quentin Tarantino, but we would welcome his sponsorship.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you on the show.
We'd love to have you. We'll give you some Kool-Aid. We'll snort some Kool-Aid.
Fucking A, man.
We should write to him and just be like, Quentin, bro. Sorry about the less than flattering stuff I said in this show you have never heard of and will never hear of. But could I borrow like $100? Would he say no? It's $100. What is that to him?
Hell yeah, he'd say no. I would not say yeah.
Dude, yeah, because I guess you'd be like everybody and their mom would be asking for $100, but I'd be like, dude, I pinky swear, you give me $1,000, I won't even say anything. Every time it gets bigger, $10,000, Quentin.
I mean, what's it to you? It doesn't matter to you. You live in Beverly Hills, fucking models or whatever it is you do. Just give me like $40,000.
Yeah, I mean, he won't miss it. I won't say anything. We'll just get mysteriously silent on the subject of Quentin Tarantino after this episode.
Perfect.
That was, yeah, exactly.